to my video. In this video, I will tell you about one of the best anime. I will tell you about Naruto. You may not be able to watch or understand the story because Naruto has 720 episodes. Naruto has a very deep story and excellent characters. In this video, I will tell you the story of Naruto in detail from start to end. Now, let's go to our video. 100,000 years ago, the arrival of the Otsutsuki. 1,000 years ago, Kaguya came to Earth with Ishiki Otsutsuki to collect the chakra fruit of the god tree to support the matriarch family of the Otsutsuki clan. But someone had to be sacrificed for this tree. While the low-ranking Kaguya had to be sacrificed, Kaguya acted quickly and betrayed Ishiki in the process, leaving him to die. Jigen, a passing monk, rescued Ishiki and gave Jigen a karma seal, even though Ishiki saw him as a worthless tool. Later, when Kaguya arrived on Earth, she was found by the inhabitants of the ancestral land and taken to their emperor Tenji. Kaguya introduced herself as the guardian of the god tree. Using her mysterious powers, she erased her memories of her encounter with Tenji and blended in with the public as his concubine. As she grew closer and closer to the emperor, Kaguya brought two children to Earth. Their names were Hamura and Hagoromo. But then a border conflict started between the two countries, and this turned into war. Kaguya believed that her godly powers were needed to prevent these conflicts of humanity. Without waiting for the Otsutsuki clan to eat the fruit from the god tree, Kaguya ate the fruit. In doing so, Rinne awakened her Sharingan and made the infamous Tsukiyomi. She also became the only person on the planet with chakra. Using her new power, Kaguya single-handedly stopped the war and took control of the nations. After bringing peace, she used the infinite Tsukuyomi on humans to turn them into White Zetsu army to prevent the Otsutsuki clan from stealing people's chakras. However, Kaguya did not want humanity to be destroyed, so she erased the memories of some genjutsu victims and set them free. Kaguya then distributed chakra to her children, making them the first humans born with chakra. When Kaguya realized that she had the desire to possess all chakra, she devised a plan to absorb their chakra by turning her arrows on her sons, then merged with the god tree to force the twins to fight her. Hagoromo and Hamura sealed Kaguya to the moon using the 6 paths, Chibaku Tensei. However, before Kaguya was sealed, she created the Black Zetsu and released it into the world. Hamura then traveled to the moon to assume leadership of the Otsutsuki clan and protect the remaining pieces of the monster. Hagoromo remained on Earth to spread the chakra to humanity and teach them the concept of ninshu. Subsequently, Hagoromo had children. They are Ashura and Indra. Hagoromo gives chakra to humanity and teaches them to use it for harmonious connection called ninshu. His sons, Indra and Ashura, are completely opposite. Indra has power but seeks revenge, while Ashura has an optimistic character. Indra is further angered when Hagoromo chooses Ashura as the new sage of the 6 paths. Indra leaves with his followers to develop ninjutsu. When Hagoromo grows old, he separates the 10-tailed nun chakra. He distributed this chakra to bijus with 9 different tails. He then placed them in separate temples. While this was happening, Hamura's lineage and the Tenseigan, who protected the Earth using Byakugan, faced internal conflicts, and only Toneri Otsutsuki's ancestors survived on the moon. On Earth, Indra has founded the Uchiha clan. Ashura founded the Senju clan, but Indra was manipulated by Black Zetsu to obtain Rinnegan and break the seal. Then, a war broke out between Indra's Uchiha clan and Ashura's Senju clans. Many people died in this war. 75 years ago. Civil War period. During the Civil War era, Madara Uchiha was born as the first child of Tajima Uchiha, leader of the Uchiha clan, and in parallel, Hashirama Senju, the eldest child of Butsama Senju, leader of the Senju clan, was born. The following year, Izuna Uchiha and Tobirama Senju were also born. In a rare moment when the villages were not at war, Hashirama met Madara, a boy his own age. The two quickly developed a friendly rivalry. Hashirama refused to accept children being sent to the battlefield and dying on the battlefield, believing it only increased resentment and deaths between the Senju and Uchiha. After the death of his brothers Kawarama and later Itama, Hashirama and his surviving brother Tobirama decided to establish a shinobi system that would end the death of children in battle and bring peace between the Senju and Uchiha. Madara, like Hashirama, had lost his brothers in the war. Together they dreamed of a world where children like them didn't have to fight and their siblings were safe. Madara and Hashirama didn't know their last names from the day they met, but at some point they found out. Hashirama was a Senju and Madara was an Uchiha, and they had to kill each other. Hashirama didn't want to kill his friend, so he put the task aside, but Madara ended his friendship with Hashirama. His solution was powerful enough to activate his Sharingan. For years, Hashirama and Madara continued to face each other on the battlefields. Hashirama was still unable to kill someone he considered a friend, and Madara was unable to resist Hashirama's superior abilities, even though Mangekyo opened Sharingan. After a time, Hashirama and Madara became the leaders of their clans. With Hashirama's leadership and unique abilities, he surpassed Senju Uchiha. Eventually, Hashirama convinced Madara to fulfill his childhood dream of bringing the two clans together. But war broke out again, and Tobirama severely wounded Madara's brother Izuna. The Uchiha considered accepting this truce, but the Senju were unwilling to accept it because he had killed his brother Izuna. Izuna's death led Madara to open the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. With this new power, he launched a final attack on the Senju clan and was quickly defeated. Instead of killing Madara to end the Age of War, he said he would kill himself if he stopped the war. Madara was moved by Hashirama's words and eventually agreed to peace. 45 years before present. The founding of Konoha. The Senju, Uchiha, and their clans came together to form a clan that would not require children to die in battle. Hashirama and Madara revived their childhood friendship and named the village Konoha. Other countries followed Konoha example and created their own secret villages. Hashirama took care of much of the village's infrastructure using his wood-type ability. He wanted Madara to be the Hokage, the leader and protector of the village. But at Tobirama's insistence, the Hokage was elected by a vote of the villagers and Hashirama was chosen as Hokage. But Madara's dreams of peace were different from Hashirama's. While Hashirama planned to cooperate with the newly established villages, Madara wanted to control the peace so that it would never end and wanted the other villages to accept Konoha's supremacy, as evidenced by his attack on Mu and Onoki from Iwagakure. Hashirama thought that Madara Uchiha would come when the leader of Konoha was elected as Hokage and saw this as the first step to Senju supremacy. Hashirama wanted Madara to be his advisor so that he could improve his image among the villagers and become the second Hokage. Madara felt it was inevitable that he would lose the second Hokage to Tobirama, and he felt that this would end badly for the Uchiha. The clay tablet had been in the hands of the Uchiha for generations, and when they came to Konoha, they brought it with them. However, Black Zetsu was able to obtain someone's Rinnegan to open the Eternal Tsukuyomi and break the seal, so he altered the tablet and wrote the wrong things. With careful work, Madara was able to decipher the tablet. It was written that in shinobi history, the Uchiha and Senju could never make peace, and that the Senju were evil. With this information, Madara thought Konoha was a failed experiment. He tried to convince his clan, even Hashirama, but no one cared. Madara chose to leave the village. He returned to fight Hashirama with the nine-tailed demon fox under his control. They fought to exhaustion, and their battle led to the creation of the Valley of the End. Toward the end of the battle, Madara was thought to have the upper hand, but Hashirama actually managed to kill Madara by tricking him with his wooden clone and stabbing him in the back with a sword. But Madara managed to take a bite out of Hashirama before dying. News of Madara's death was covered up, and his body kept secret to prevent anyone from finding it. But Madara was already planning ahead. He had planned an Izanagi for some time after his death, and by sacrificing his right eye, he was able to make this Izanagi and come back to life. After coming back to life, Madara left behind a replica of his real body and began to regenerate his wounds with Hashirama cells from Hashirama. Simultaneously, Mito Uzumaki sealed the nine tails into his own body, becoming the dread beings Jinchuriki. During the First Shinobi World War, Hashirama organized a Kage Summit with the desire to bring peace. At the summit, he began distributing tailed beasts for balance of power and cooperation. However, the cooperation was not as simple as Hashirama had planned. Tobirama told the other villagers to pay for the tailed beasts they would receive. The first Kazekage then demanded money and land instead of the tailed beasts. As unrest began to grow, Hashirama said that any peace treaty they made would be temporary, but would help future generations form a lasting union. Takigakure commissioned Kakuzu to kill Hashirama. Hashirama defeated Kakuzu, but other wars broke out. They lived in peace for a while. Hashirama trained Hiruzen Sarutobi, one of Tobirama's students. 34 years before present. First Shinobi War. Although this put an end to the smaller wars, the conflicts of the period began to escalate and Hashirama eventually died in battle. His successor as Hokage, Tobirama Senju, attempted to continue Hashirama's quest for peace, but even his efforts could not stop the start of the First Shinobi World War. Tobirama would die later during the war, killed in battle with the Kenkaku forces of Kumogakure. However, before Tobirama died, he separated Konoha and the Uchiha clan and put them in a more remote location. This made the Uchiha clan feel uncomfortable. However, after Tobirama died, one of his disciples, Hiruzen Sarutobi, became Hokage, and after that, the First Shinobi War ended. 15 years before the present, Second Shinobi War. During this turbulent period of the Second Shinobi World War, Hanzo confronts the Konoha forces and manages to kill almost everyone. Only Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru managed to withstand this attack, and their resistance earned them the nickname Konoha Sennin. They are also students of Hiruzen, the Hokage. However, Tsunade finds Don Kato, the man she loved, dead in this battle, which causes Tsunade to develop a fear of blood. Meanwhile, 10-year-old Kushina Uzumaki finds herself chosen as a surrogate for Kurama, which leads to the death of the patient Mito Uzumaki, 12 years before the present, Nagato's story. In the middle of these changing times, the old Madara Uchiha awakens his Rinnegan, but he's very old when he awakens, and so he gives Rinnegan to Nagato when he is very young, and unbeknownst to his family. Sometime later, during the Second Shinobi World War, Nagato and his family took refuge in a hut because of the war going on around them. One day, two Konoha shinobi, not realizing they were there and looking for food and shelter, entered their home. Realizing they were coming, Nagato's parents attacked them so that Nagato could escape. Defending themselves, the Konoha shinobi killed them. Seeing that they were civilians, the ninjas tried to apologize to Nagato, but an angry Nagato used Madara's Rinnegan to avenge his parents. Orphaned after the death of his parents, Nagato was forced to leave his home and find food and a place to stay. That's when he found Konan and Yahiko, who were also orphans. Later, the trio encountered the Senins. Jiraiya was intrigued by these three, and when he saw Nagato's Rinnegan power, he decided to train them. Meanwhile, Kakashi, Obito, and Rin began their training at Konoha Academy. In the years that followed, Kakashi's father was lynched by the public for not completing his mission by rescuing his friends during a mission. Because of this, Kakashi's father had to take his own life. After Kakashi saw this, he never forgot it, and it caused him to become unresponsive. 3 years before present. Third Shinobi War. Another war erupts in the Third Shinobi World War. Minato and his team become Chunin and Kakashi becomes a Jonin. Rasengan was developed by Minato and taught to his mentor Jiraiya. Konoha eventually participated in the Third Shinobi World War. As part of the war effort, Team Minato was tasked to destroy the Kanabi Bridge in Kusagakure in an attempt to cut off Iwagakure's support line. At the time, Minato was needed on the front lines, so he entrusted the team to 12-year-old Kakashi, who had just been promoted to the rank of Jonin. Later, the team gets into trouble because the enemy kidnaps Rin and Kakashi, and Obito turn against each other. Because Obito says that Rin must be saved, while Kakashi says that the mission must continue. So Obito gets angry and manages to open his Sharingan. In the process, Kakashi's left eye was completely shattered, but in the end, Kakashi agreed to save Rin and fought with Obito. In the end, they managed to save Rin, but when the rocks collapsed, Obito was trapped under the rocks. Before he died, he managed to give Kakashi his Sharingan, and after this time, Kakashi became known as Kakashi the Copy Ninja. Later, Obito was presumed dead, but was rescued by White Zetsu on the orders of the Elder Madara. Madara brought Obito to the graveyard of the mountains and treated his wounds, removing his damaged body parts and replacing them with parts made from Hashirama Senju's cells. Despite their injuries, the Sharingan in Obito's right eye remained intact. Meanwhile, Madara told Obito about the cruelty of the world and his plan to save it, but the young Uchiha ignored him. One day, White Zetsu told Obito that Kakashi and Rin were somewhere being killed by Kirigakure ninjas. Obito insisted on helping them, and White Zetsu offered to wrap him in his body. Before leaving, Obito thanked Madara for everything and said he would not return. Madara was convinced that Obito would return to him again. The White Zetsu told Obito about Kakashi and Rin's location and Minato's absence. When he found Rin and Kakashi, he saw that they were trapped by Kiri ninjas and that Kakashi had inserted his Chidori into Rin's heart. Rin's death caused both of their Sharingan to transform into Mangekyo Sharingan, and Kakashi fainted because of it. Enraged by what had happened, Obito began to kill all the Kiri ninja with his power. Later, Obito returned to the graveyard of the mountains and told Madara that he would do anything if it would bring Rin and Kakashi back. Madara revealed the Eye of the Moon plan, in which no one in the world would have to die violently. Madara then died, and before he died, he asked Obito to introduce himself to everyone as Uchiha Madara. Nagato and his team then formed an organization called Akatsuki, led by Yahiko, to end the war. Their desire became very popular and they gained many supporters. As their quest for peace continued, the Akatsuki in Omegakure began to grow in membership and fame, so much so that Hanzo, the leader of the village, began to feel that the Akatsuki posed a threat to his power. However, Hanzo ambushed them and they took Konan hostage and killed Yahiko. This angered Nagato and led him to use Rinnegan. With Rinnegan, Geto summoned Mazo and killed everyone. As the war ended, Minato became the new Hokage and Hiruzen retired. Birth of Naruto. Naruto was born to Minato and Kushina, and Gaara was also born. But inside Gaara was implanted Shukaku, a tailed monster. On the day Naruto was born, 14-year-old Obito appeared. Obito kidnapped the Kushina and freed Kurama inside, controlling Kurama with his Sharingan. He gave the order to destroy the village. Minato soon arrived to help defend the village. Before Minato could help and tell anyone about the events, Obito found him and used Kamui to try to prevent him from interfering further. Minato managed to escape with the Flying Thunder God technique. Minato did not recognize Obito when they fought, thinking he was Madara Uchiha. Initially, his attacks against Obito were successful, but after several failed attacks, Minato attacked him with Rasengan and branded him with the Flying Thunder God seal. Later, Kushina and Minato died in Kurama's attack, leaving Naruto an orphan. Also, because Minato died, Hiruzen becomes Hokage again. Then Kakashi joined Anbu and quickly became the best. Danzo wanted him to kill Hiruzen, but Kakashi refused to do so, showing that he stood by the Hokage. 6 years after Naruto was born, Uchiha Itachi joined the Row team led by Kakashi. Believing Obito to be Madara, Itachi asked if he could help him kill the clan in revenge for his behavior against Madara. Obito agreed and then suggested Itachi join the Akatsuki. With Danzo's orders, Itachi agreed to slaughter the Uchiha clan. He killed the entire Uchiha clan, leaving only his brother Sasuke behind. He caused him a lot of pain by doing Tsukiyomi to him, and after that, Sasuke was able to awaken his Sharingan. Later, Itachi joined Akatsuki and his partner was Juzo Biwa, but he soon died during a mission. Sometime later, Orochimaru tried to steal Itachi's body to obtain Sharingan, but Itachi easily defeated him by trapping him in a genjutsu. Nagato then unleashed the pains and killed Hanzo and his entire family. 13 years after Naruto was born, Naruto's story begins after this time. Naruto was not very successful in his school years. His constant failure in exams prevented him from becoming a shinobi. Also, because of the 9 tails trapped inside Naruto, everyone saw him as a monster and he had almost no friends. He somehow managed to pass the exams and join Team 7. After passing the Bell exam in a difficult way, they go on a big mission under the leadership of Kakashi. There, Naruto reveals his Jinchuriki powers for the first time after Sasuke was injured, and they manage to defeat Zabuza and Haku. After successfully completing this mission, Team 7 manages to participate in the Chunin exams. In the test in the forest, Orochimaru appears and seals him to do to Sasuke what he couldn't do to Itachi. In the following episodes, Jiraiya appears and Orochimaru's invasion of Konoha begins. In this battle, Orochimaru makes Edo Tensei and resurrects Tobirama and Hashirama to fight Hiruzen on his side. Hiruzen barely manages to stand up to them, but he dies in the end. But Orochimaru's hands are rendered useless. Now that Hiruzen is dead, someone has to become Hokage, and Jiraiya and Naruto start looking for Tsunade to become Hokage. As they continue, they come across Itachi and Kisame. There, Sasuke tries to attack Itachi, but Itachi throws him against the wall. Later, Jiraiya starts to teach Naruto the Rasengan he saw from Minato to make him stronger. Then they meet Orochimaru, and when Tsunade's in trouble, Naruto helps him and uses the Rasengan on Kabuto for the first time and defeats him. And so Tsunade decides to become Hokage and becomes the 5th Hokage. In the following episodes, Sasuke decides to go to Orochimaru to get stronger. Naruto gathers a team and goes on a journey to bring Sasuke back to the village. During this journey, they somehow manage to defeat all enemies. Naruto and Sasuke also face each other in the Sun Valley. Naruto tries very hard in this battle and even manages to open 3 tails. But Sasuke opens 3 Tomoe Sharingan at this time and finally attacks Naruto with Rasengan, and Sasuke attacks Naruto with Chidori. In the end, Sasuke survives and goes to Orochimaru and starts training there. Naruto, on the other hand, sets off to train with Jiraiya, 15 years after Naruto was born. During this time, Naruto has learned how to better utilize the power of the Tailed Beast. Gaara is the new Kazekage. Akatsuki starts collecting Tailed Beasts during this period. Naruto has finally returned to the village. During this time, Hiruzen's grandson Konohamaru started to master Rasengan with Naruto's help. However, Deidara, an Akatsuki member, kidnapped Gaara, a Kazekage. Hearing this, Naruto and Team 7 immediately go there. But they were too late. They managed to get the Tailed Beast out of there, and that's why Gaara died. Chio sacrificed her own life and brought Gaara back to life. Sasoride, a member of Akatsuki, died during this time. Before he dies, we learn that he was actually working with Orochimaru. That's why Team 7 disguises Sasori and aims to meet Orochimaru. There, Naruto is able to control his powers, leading to a very epic battle with Orochimaru. Eventually, they find Sasuke, but he leaves, saying he wants to stay with Orochimaru. Naruto then begins to work on a more powerful technique, the Rasen Shuriken. Meanwhile, Hidan and Kakuzu encounter Asuma and kill him. Shikamaru, angry that his teacher Asuma is dead, traps the immortal Hidan in a trap and traps him under the ground, never to come out again. Naruto, on the other hand, learns the Rasen Shuriken technique and confronts the 5-hearted Kakuzu. After a long struggle by everyone, the Kakuzu finally dies. In the following episodes, Sasuke betrays and kills Orochimaru and forms his own team, and they go on a journey to take revenge on Itachi. Kabuto, Orochimaru's assistant, begins to master the Snake Sage mode after Orochimaru dies. Then the news of Orochimaru's death and the news of Sasuke's journey to take revenge on Itachi comes to Konoha. So Naruto and his team set out on another mission. Meanwhile, Sasuke, who encounters Deidara and Tobi, manages to defeat Deidara after a battle, but Deidara creates a huge explosion as his last move. However, Sasuke somehow manages to survive this explosion. Finally, he encounters Itachi Uchiha, his older brother. After a long battle, Itachi seemed to be victorious, but Itachi intentionally loses to his brother. When Sasuke wakes up, Obito explains everything about his brother. He explains that he actually did it for the good of Konoha, that Danzo asked him to, and that he did it to help his brother. Sasuke turns against Konoha after this time and says that he will destroy it. Team 7 comes back to Konoha empty-handed. Jiraiya came to Omegakure to destroy Akatsuki in the process. Orade was surprised to encounter the Pain, but he turned on Sage Mode and started fighting the Pain. But Jiraiya was eventually killed by the Pain. Naruto mastered the Sage Mode and grew stronger. Meanwhile, the Pain came to Konoha and started destroying everything. In the end, Pain did Shinra Tensei and destroyed all of Konoha. But when Naruto came to Konoha, things started to turn upside down. The stronger Naruto fought the Pains and defeated them all, but in the end, he unleashed the full power of the Nine Tails and fought the Pain that way. Minato told Naruto to protect his seal, and that's how Naruto suppressed the Nine Tails and killed Pain with a Rasengan. However, he realized that Nagato was behind it and talked to him. As a result of this battle, Tsunade was badly damaged and Danzo declared himself Hokage. Later, a Kage meeting was held, and Sasuke stormed the meeting and targeted Danzo. Sasuke fought a tough battle with the Raikage, even opening Mangekyo Sharingan to fight him. However, even though the Kageler defeated Sasuke in the end, Obito saved Sasuke and started the 4th Shinobi War. Later, Sasuke managed to capture Danzo and killed him. Naruto and Sasuke met again during this period, but their battle ended in a draw. To get stronger, Naruto started training with Killer Bee, the Jinchuriki of the Eight-Tailed, on Turtle Island. However, they were challenged by Kisame. However, he was overwhelmingly defeated by Might Guy. Meanwhile, Sasuke managed to open the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan by taking Itachi's eyes. Kabuto met with Obito and showed him the powerful characters from Edo Tensei, most of whom had died. Later, Obito wanted to take Nagato's Rinnegan, but when Konan objected, they fought and eventually he killed Konan and took the Rinnegan. Naruto, on the other hand, managed to make peace with Kurama and become friends during training. Tsunade recovered and joined the battle. Naruto came to help the shinobi army. That's when they met the real Madara, but it was the Madara of Edo Tensei. Madara was able to defeat them with Susanoo water. Later, Naruto faced Itachi and Nagato's Edo Tensei. Itachi managed to break the Edo Tensei, but Nagato couldn't, and they fought him, and in the end, Nagato died in peace. Sasuke and Itachi met again and tried to prevent Kabuto's Edo Tensei, and eventually they destroyed Kabuto's Edo Tensei, and that's how Itachi died again. But before the Edo Tensei was destroyed, Madara managed to get out of the Edo Tensei. Sasuke then used Kabuto to bring the Orochimaru back. They used Orochimaru to resurrect the dead Hokages and lure them to their side. Naruto destroyed the White Zetsu and joined the battle. Then they started to fight Obito. Using his mind, Naruto managed to break Obito's mask and Obito's true identity was revealed. Madara also came to Obito's side and they bought out the Ten Tails again. The great battles continued and Neji died. Obito transformed into Jubito as the Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails. Sasuke joined the battle alongside Naruto and brought other Hokages. They could not defeat Jubito, who was too strong. Naruto finally got into his head and told him that there was good in him and that this was the wrong way. He managed to get Obito on his side. Madara started covering him with Black Zetsu. Then he fought and defeated Sasuke. Then Madara pulled the Kurama out of Naruto. Obito took the power of the Ten-Tailed and Kurama. Sakura began to heal Naruto. Later, Naruto and Sasuke encountered Hagoromo. Hagoromo gives them the 6 paths of the Sage Mode, and that way, if they can both touch Madara at the same time and do Chibaku Tensei, they will be able to seal him on the moon. Meanwhile, Might Guy opens all 8 doors and starts attacking Madara. In the end, Madara was about to die, but thanks to Hashirama's attacks, he didn't die. However, Might Guy had taken too much damage, and Naruto came and healed him. This is how Sasuke unlocks Rinnegan, and Naruto unlocks the 6 paths of the Sage Mode. They start fighting with Madara. Madara couldn't defeat them because he was weak because he only had 1 Rinnegan. So he went after Obito's Rinnegan. Sakura was hesitant to destroy Obito's Rinnegan, so Madara managed to steal Obito's Rinnegan. In the end, Madara performed the Endless Tsukiyomi. He put everyone into a deep sleep, allowing everyone to see a good future. Of these, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Naruto managed to survive. Meanwhile, Black Zetsu betrayed Madara and finally realized his goal. Black Zetsu managed to pull Kaguya out of Madara. After that, they continued to fight battles with Kaguya in different dimensions. but Kaguya was very strong because she was an Otsutsuki. Then Obito dies sacrificing himself for Naruto. Then they start to work as a team. Obito gives Kakashi both Sharingans. That's how Kakashi manages to open Susanoo. Then the three of them team up together to do Chibaku Tensei to Kaguya and seal her. All the tailed beasts are then released and the endless Tsukiyomi ends. But Sasuke wants to have one last battle with Naruto, and Naruto agrees. In the final battle, they both attack each other by making Rasen Shuriken and Chidori at the same time. They both lose their arms because of this situation, but they eventually become friends. This is how Sasuke returns to Konoha and Kakashi becomes the new Hokage. In the future, Naruto marries Hinata, and a child named Boruto is born. Naruto also becomes Hokage. When Boruto grows up, Ishiki Otsutsuki returns again, and with Naruto Kurama's sacrifice, he opens the Baryon mode and manages to defeat Ishiki in this way. And that's how I told you the whole story of Naruto. I didn't tell it in this video because I think the Boruto series is bad, but I plan to tell it if there are any requests. If you want more videos where I tell you more anime from start to end, don't forget to like this video. Goodbye, and see you in the next ones.